got acts. So, Ron?
The skies have been darkened by the horrific attacks that took place in Paris.
Panic in Paris just days after deadly attacks killed nearly 130 people. Many fear the terror in the City of Light is not over.
Any form of terrorism is a form of attacking all of us.
An act of war, French fighter jets taking the offensive against ISIS, dropping bombs in Syria.
It's evil that you really can't explain.
The world reacts as authorities search for those responsible for these attacks. WMBF News starts now.
Live, local, late breaking. This is WMBF News at 11.
Thank you so much for staying up late here with us. We'll get to more on those deadly attacks in Paris in just a bit. But first, a developing story out of Horry County tonight. One man is dead after a police chase ends in a fatal crash. Here's video from that scene tonight around 7. The chase ended on Highway 905 in Sarvis Farm Road near the North Carolina border. An Horry County coroner confirms a man was killed when his vehicle crashed into a power pole there as he was being pursued by police. The victim, reportedly in his 30s and from the Tabor City area for some time. That road was closed in both directions. We're still working to get more information on how that police chase started. Make sure you stay with us here on air and online. New at 11, authorities are now investigating a fire that burned a barn to the ground. Officials say a vehicle was also involved in that blaze, and it happened around 6:45 this evening between Loris and North Myrtle Beach near the Hewitt and Summerlin roads. We're told a vacant home was being threatened during that fire but was not damaged. Temperatures may have been chillier this weekend, but the start of the week may see a little bit of a warm-up. Let's head over to First Alert meteorologist Andy Stein to find out what you can expect for your Monday morning. Andy?
Yeah, your Monday morning commute definitely going to be chilly, but not going to be as bad as what we saw this morning. Now, 45 degrees is probably where we're going to be starting off. 48 degrees by about your 7 a.m. hour, and then slowly working our way into the 50s as we work our way into our 8, 9 o'clock hour. But it's going to be dry, and we're going to be mostly sunny throughout the entire day. That's going to be the good news. And speaking of slightly warmer temperatures, we're going to be on a warming trend throughout the middle of the week. As a cold front approaches, ahead of that, we're going to be warmer, but after that, we are going to be cooling down a little bit. Cold front bringing a little bit of rain with it. I'm going to be detailing the entire forecast coming up in a few minutes.
The victim of a deadly home invasion with ties to the Palmetto State was laid to rest today. More than 2,000 people came to bid their goodbyes to Amanda Blackburn. Police say she was shot during a home invasion Tuesday morning while she was 12 weeks pregnant. Her 1-year-old son was also home at the time, but we're told he was not injured. Amanda's husband, Pastor Davey Blackburn, found her when he came back home from the gym. She died in the hospital on Wednesday. Blackburn had once been a pastor at a church in the upstate. U.S. Senator and presidential hopeful Ted Cruz dropped by a town hall meeting in Myrtle Beach today, speaking about his big plans for his first day in office if he's elected into the Oval Office. Reporter Josh Robertson was there to hear just what he had to say.
I'm here outside Ocean Bay Middle School, where earlier there were swarms of Ted Cruz supporters as the senator chose to stop by as he continues his presidential campaign. The GOP candidate has been gaining traction as of late and is currently 4th in the polls. And with South Carolina being a major primary state, Cruz chose to stop by a local town hall meeting to speak to the community on the changes he plans to make if elected.
Well, it's great to be here. We've got, I think, a terrific town hall here in Myrtle Beach, and, the support we're seeing across the state of South Carolina is really incredible. And I think the reason is simple. I think people are fed up with campaign conservatives. They're fed up with candidates who say one thing on the trail and do something completely different when they're in Washington.
The senator's speech hit on a wide range of topics, such as fighting against religious persecution in America and the problems he has with the Iranian nuclear deal. He also commented on the recent attacks in Paris that left at least 132 people dead and says he plans to dismantle ISIS if he becomes president.
We will not defeat radical Islamic terrorism so long as we have a president and commander-in-chief unwilling to even utter the words radical Islamic terrorism.
Cruz also went over an extensive laundry list of things he would do his first day in office if elected, including repealing the Affordable Care Act. Reporting in Myrtle Beach, I'm Josh Robertson, WMBF News.
Coming up in just a few hours on WMBF News today at 6 a.m., we take a closer look at salad bars and the germs that could be lurking in your meal. A food safety agent says the glass covering over those salad bars is actually called a sneeze guard, blocking germs from getting into the food, but bacteria can still cling to the tongs that you use, which are required to actually be changed out every 4 hours. Restaurants and stores with salad bars are also supposed to have someone monitoring those bars to stop people from taste testing.
It can result in loss of business, the restaurant can close, poor reputation.
One forgotten step in that food can turn into trouble for both the consumer and the seller. Again, you can catch our full investigation right here on WMBF News at 6 a.m. The world continues to unite as one to remember the people who lost their lives during the tragic attacks in Paris. We'll show you how communities right here in South Carolina are mourning. Coming up right after the break.
The news isn't 9 to 5. It's always happening. And WMBF News at 11 is there to bring it to you live, first and only.
Studio with that voicemail only shared with WMBF News.
Late breaking news that you get first on WMBF News at 11.
In exchange for Bubba dropping out.
I was done. I need your voters.
Live reports getting you the facts on the local stories as they happen.
Developing story.
New at 11 in Oregon.
WMBF News at 11. There's no better time to make the switch.
This ultimate chicken sandwich is so great. I mean, this is the chicken sandwich that all other chicken sandwiches are going to be judged against.
Well, I'll actually be the judge of that, Peter.
Okay, so what are you, some sort of chicken judge?
I find this ultimate chicken sandwich on brioche bun to be guilty of being delicious.
Great. TJ, this is ridiculous.
You're out of order. I'm out of tots. Order me a drink. Case dismissed.
All rise for the honorable new ultimate chicken sandwich. And don't forget our ice cream cake, shakes, and cones. This is how you Sonic.
Pause moving in storage.
We just sold our house.
We'll deliver a few containers.
Our new home's not ready.
No problem. You can store things with us while you're between homes.
We'll be staying at my brother's.
Well, that sounds...
He has kids of his own.
Well...
5 of them.
Ma'am?
Help.
Trust us for local and long-distance moving and store at our storage centers. Pods, moving and storage, solved. Call today or visit pods.com for your free quote.
Rush, or it will be too late. It's the Black Friday sales event at Hyatt Buick GMC. Find special Black Friday event offers all month long. 2015 Buick LaCrosse Black Friday price to $10,000 off, 10 grand. 2015 Buick Enclave Black Friday priced also at $10,000 off, 10 grand. Hurry, Black Friday ends when the month ends at Hyatt Buick GMC in Myrtle Beach. Buy it at Hyatt or you'll pay too much.
Social Security disability? Got Axelrod?
Just into the WMBF newsroom, details about a crash that killed 2 people in Darlington County. South Carolina Highway Patrol says it happened around 7 tonight on East Carolina Avenue. 2 people were inside a Nissan Maxima when it went off the right side of the road there, hitting a sign, then crashing into a utility pole. Both the driver and the passenger were killed. So far, their names have not been released. California State University at Long Beach hosted a vigil tonight for a student who was killed in Friday's terrorist attacks in France. 23-year-old Nohemi Gonzalez was a senior at the school studying in Paris at the Straight College of Design for a semester abroad program. Gonzalez was one of dozens killed and hundreds injured during multiple explosions and shooting sprees in Paris on Friday. Students called Gonzalez a hard worker and a role model.
Really big shock. And it really hurts me that this happened. But I want to be happy for her because she was a really, really huge role model for me in my life.
Many people very emotional tonight there. The vigil also recognized the other victims of Friday's attacks and the other over 80 university students from France in foreign exchange programs. Right now in France and Belgium, officials are on a manhunt for the alleged 8th suspect of the attacks, and authorities are still trying to learn more information about those responsible. The Greek Minister of Immigration Policy says one of those suspects entered Europe with Syrian refugees. But the man that you see on your screen right now is the one that authorities are searching for. Salah Abdeslam is said to be the younger brother of one of the suspects who detonated an explosive vest on Boulevard Voltaire in Paris. And looking ahead, the U.S. flag will be lowered to half-staff the White House, federal buildings across the country, and American military and diplomatic stations around the world as a mark of respect for the victims of the Paris attacks. President Barack Obama ordered that gesture of solidarity with France by proclamation today, and those flags will be flown at half-staff until sunset on Thursday. Meanwhile, President Obama had strong words today about those attacks while attending a summit of world leaders in Turkey. NBC's Ron Allen reports on how those events in Paris will impact the war on ISIS.
A moment of silence as President Obama, with the world's most powerful leaders, honor the innocents massacred in Paris.
The skies have been darkened by the horrific attacks that took place in Paris just a day and a half ago.
The president vowing to stand shoulder to shoulder with the French, who called the attack an act of war and to hunt down the killers.
The killing of innocent people based on a twisted ideology is an attack not just on France, not just on Turkey, but it's an attack on the civilized world.
An economic summit now dominated with addressing the global terror threat just a few hundred miles from the front line, Turkey's border with Syria. A moment so urgent, Mr. Obama and Russia's Vladimir Putin huddled in a corner, diplomacy on the fly. The two leaders at odds about how to defeat ISIS and end Syria's civil war. Now, following the Paris attacks, the U.S. plans to intensify its year-long strategy, attacking ISIS from the air, while arming and backing local forces on the ground, a strategy widely criticized as ineffective. The hope now that additional coalition partners will amp up the firepower to what's largely been a U.S.-led air war.
We're confident that in the coming days and weeks, working with the French, we'll be able to intensify our strike to make clear that there's no safe haven for these terrorists.
The French have said they'll use every means necessary to destroy ISIS, and tonight their warplanes have targeted the Syrian city that ISIS claims is its capital, a mission and sense of urgency that the U.S. has said it will strongly and aggressively support. Now back to you.
And right here in the Palmetto State, many people are reacting to those terrorist attacks, including the Charleston Police Department. They've issued their own statement in regards to those attacks. The department says they'll be taking action to enhance awareness among first responders. Officials say this means increased police visibility and patrols in heavy populated public areas. Police say they'll continue to work to keep the community safe and to report anything suspicious. Many in Columbia are coming together to pray for Paris. Dozens gathered at Finlay Park, lighting candles to honor the victims of the attacks. The vigil was organized by residents with ties to France. Several people telling us that they spent the past few days trying to connect with friends and loved ones. They say what's happened is still really hard to process.
I've been watching the news almost non-stop because I cannot understand what's going on. I cannot understand because Paris is known to be a very peaceful place. It's very shocking.
Organizers say they're grateful for the support that's come from across the world in the wake of those attacks. Facebook changing its policies after receiving backlash over one of its features used by millions of people this past weekend following those deadly attacks in Paris. More details coming up.
And you know, we're going to be staying dry the bulk of the week, but the one time that we may see rain, it could be severe with a couple thunderstorms around the area. I'm going to break down the details just on the other side of the break.
At ARS Rescue Rooter, we want to keep you comfortable, keep you safe, and save you money when it comes to your heating system. Schedule your annual heating system check now at a super low price of only $59. Visit arsmyrtlebeach.com.
54? Over here! Here's your Call of Duty Ultimate Care package.
Nice package.
The Ultimate Care package. A Tex-Mex Bacon Thick Burger and chance to win Black Ops 3 prizes at Hardee's. The Big Bag Lunch for $5.55. Pick any two to go with your fries, drink, and apple turnover. Only at Hardee's.
There's a place where hard work is king, where people punch in early and leave late,
And so is it any surprise that when a true hero is born, that they come from a place like this? Ram salutes the heroes of the Hunger Games. See The Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 2 November 20th. Get 0% APR for 75 months on a 2015 Ram 1500 model now. Get 0% APR for 75 months plus $6,500 in total values on 2015 Ram 1500 Bighorn Crew Cab models in stock the longest.
Are you considering replacing your heating and air conditioning system before winter hits? Get up to $1,450 back when you purchase a select home comfort system from ARS. You could even have that new system for as low as $83 per month with approved credit. Visit arsmyrtlebeach.com.
Explore thesouthernweekend.com, your new home for weekend inspiration. It's all about food, travel, the outdoors, and the Southern lifestyle. We love weekends in the South, and so will you. So come join the adventure at thesouthernweekend.com.
Arrested? Got Axelrod?
Now, WMBF News First Alert meteorologist Andy Stein.
Hey, thanks for staying up late with us. Now, right now temperatures are pretty cool, and temperatures right now are also going to be the temperatures that we're probably going to be waking up to, not expecting to fall much further than where we're at right now. 39 degrees is the current temperature in Marion, 46 in Myrtle Beach, 39 in the Murrells Inlet, 40 as you walk outside into Florence. Now, your Monday morning commute looking great, and throughout the entire day, actually looking very nice as well. We're going to eventually get up to about 66 degrees along the Grand Strand. Plenty of sunshine to work with. I know we ended the night on Sunday with a little bit of cloud cover. Not going to expect that throughout the entire day Monday, but definitely a little bit of cloud cover could work its way in through the evening hours. PD getting to about 67 as well. Winds coming to us about the east at 5 miles per hour. So we're actually seeing things shift a little bit than where we were this weekend, and that's a sign of things to come. So the week ahead, what we're expecting, winds are actually going to be shifting again coming out of the south, funneling in some of that warmer air into the area all the way through Tuesday and Wednesday. So that's where that warming trend is going to be becoming a factor. And once we get to about Wednesday, that's when we're going to track the next rainmaker, the next system approaching the area from the west, coming through the area through Thursday. And Thursday, check it out. That's when we're expecting the heaviest of rain, really the only day that we're expecting rain throughout the week. And with the warmer air and the southerly flow, we're actually expecting a lot of energy with this. So we could squeeze out a few thunderstorms, some of which could be severe. We're still trying to work out the kinks of this, so definitely stay tuned. Thursday, the day for rain. After Thursday gets through, we actually clear out, dry things out, and also cool things off a little bit too. So we really only have one bad day with the week ahead working its way into the area. There's 66 for your day on Monday, 69 for Tuesday, and like I said, warming up ever so slightly even into the middle of the week. So Wednesday, checking in at 74, and then we get that rain on Thursday, about a 6% chance of rain, checking in at 69 degrees. And then we're going to cool things off again, back into the lower 60s, starting to see that sunshine return for the weekend, looking like an absolutely gorgeous start to the weekend. And then even as you head inland, much of the same, we are going to see those temperatures rise up into the mid-70s by Wednesday. A little bit more cloud cover each day, and then finally rain on Thursday. Again, for the inland areas, could see some thunderstorms, some lightning, some gusty winds, but then it's all over and done with as we head into Friday. The weekend looks absolutely gorgeous.
Awesome. And I saw in line that early Wednesday morning we could have a good shot at checking out a great meteor shower. What's the weather going to look like? Well,
Wednesday night we're starting to watch that system move in, so not expecting to have the greatest weather conditions, unfortunately. But, a few breaks in the clouds, we could see something out there.
Okay,
we'll
have
to stay tuned.
Yeah, we'll have to keep an eye out. Thank you so much. Severe weather hit California's Central Valley today. Take a look at this video. The storm spawned a tornado that touched down in Denair. Multiple trees downed, a few houses damaged, a church also damaged in that storm. No injuries have been reported, though. Power out for hundreds there in that area. The unusual weather comes as Northern California experiences a storm system for the third Sunday in a row. The National Weather Service will be in that area Monday to determine the strength of that twister. Facebook taking some criticism for activating its safety check feature after the Paris terrorist attacks. The feature allowed Facebook users in the area to notify their friends that they were safe, and it's been used only 5 times before. after some natural disasters. But some people later asked why Facebook didn't activate that feature after Thursday's deadly bombings in Lebanon. CEO Mark Zuckerberg wrote that Facebook's policy until Saturday was to activate Safety Check only for natural disasters, but he said that feature will now be turned on after some human disasters as well. More than 4 million people used that Safety Check after the Paris attacks. Starting today, the American Red Cross challenging donors to bleed garnet or orange in support of their favorite college team. Community members are invited to give blood starting through November 28th at donation centers in both Florence and Myrtle Beach. And after you donate, you're asked to cast your vote for your team of choice, the University of South Carolina or Clemson. The drive comes at an important time at the start of the holiday season when blood donations typically decrease. This annual blood drive provides an opportunity for community members to show their school spirit for a life-saving cause. So if you're interested, here's some details on that. Donating in Florence will happen at the Florence Donation Center on Tuesday from 11 to 7, Wednesday from 2 to 7, or Friday and Saturday 6 to 2 p.m. And for people living in the Myrtle Beach area, you can head to the Myrtle Beach Donation Center at the Plaza at Carolina Forest. It's open on Tuesday 7 to 1:30, Wednesday and Thursday noon to 6:30, and Friday 7 to 1:30. NASCAR Sprint Cup Championship a week away, but rain in the final qualifier put the chase in jeopardy. Coming up next in sports, highlights from Phoenix International and a look at the chase field.
And the PD for their views on traffic safety. How many traffic fatalities do you think there were in the U.S. last year?
Really, I have no idea.
Probably pretty high. People drive kind of funny.
Right off the top, I would say probably 100,000.
A million.
In the thousands.
What is a reasonable goal for reducing traffic fatalities in South Carolina?
Like maybe 25%.
Yeah. But half is a tremendous start.
What is a reasonable goal for traffic fatalities in your family?
0, I hope.
Yeah, we don't text.
That would definitely be a big factor.
Definitely 0, family or friends.
0 for everybody.
South Carolina is out to eliminate traffic fatalities with a program called Target Zero. How do you feel about that?
We support Target Zero in South Carolina.
I support Target Zero in South Carolina.
Let's all Target Zero.
Get Black Friday deals all month long at Myrtle Beach Chevrolet Cadillac. Get up to 20% cash back on select new Chevrolets, including Camaros, Cruises, and Malibus. And get 0% financing for up to 72 months. Take up to $10,000 off a new Chevy Silverado or get 0% financing for 72 months. And get worry-free buying with our exclusive Platinum Care Club. Black Friday deals all month long, only at Myrtle Beach Chevrolet Cadillac. On the corner of Highway 501 and Robert Grissom Parkway.
You sure this thing is garbage?
Look at it.
It's not garbage.
Lift with your knees.
Excuse me.
Uh-oh. Better get Mako. For a limited time, Mako's lowest priced paint surface is on sale for only $2.99. Mako, America's Body Shop.
Keep an eye on the sky over Myrtle Beach with the Horry Georgetown Technical College Skycam. On air and online at WMBFnews.com. Stay ahead of the storm. Download the free WMBF First Alert weather app.
Auto accident. Got Axelrod?
Life's been pretty good for the Carolina Panthers lately. The Cats are one of the only 2 undefeated teams left in the NFL and rode a 12-game regular season winning streak right into Nissan Stadium to face the Tennessee Titans. Before the game, there was a moment of silence for the victims of the Paris attacks. But Carolina jumps out to an early 7-0 lead, but later in the first, Dexter McCluster tight ropes the sideline there for the 25-yard touchdown. He dives in and ties things up at 7-all. Same score in the second. Cam Newton finds a wide open, and I do mean wide open, Ed Dixon for the 2-yard touchdown. And the Panthers retake that lead, but they still hold on to the 7-point lead in the fourth. But former Chanticleer Mike Tober tries to punch in, and Texas defense says no, thank you, sir, stopping him at the goal line, dropping him for a loss, and the Panthers settle for a field goal. But later in the game, Cam Newton does his thing, takes this quarterback keeper in for the usual Cam Newton rushing touchdown, and look at him celebrate. Avery Williams does not like that, and Cam's response after the game, well, if you don't like me scoring, keep me out of the end zone. Panthers remain undefeated on the season, 27-10, the final. To hoops in the Queen City, victims of the Paris attacks honored before the game with the French national anthem, and you have a French native there, Nicolas Batum, showing his support as they take on the Blazers. Batum had a big game, 33 points in this one. There you see him coming off the screen and pulling up for the elbow jumper. Hornets by 7. Then later he pops out and pulls up from 3. Bang, bang, bang. Bucket is good, and it's 35-25 Hornets. In the second quarter, Jeremy Lin goes top shelf to Jeremy Lamb, and the Bees have this Time Warner Arena buzzing. And then later, the pickpocket and Al Jefferson with the outlet pass, and then Batum finishes this thing off with the exclamation point. Again, he had a game-high 33 points. Charlotte cruises 106-94 the final. I tuned it over to some college hoops now. The Clemson men's team hitting the hardwood in downtown Greenville, facing UT San Antonio. With the good start early on, Dante Grantham buries the triple for the game's first points. He had a career-high 22, 17 in the first half, and then a little later on, Landry Noko with a big jam there. So good, we're going to take another look at it there. The big man doing his thing down low. He had 16. Just before the half, Gabe DeVoe patiently waiting in the corner, and the 3-ball corner pocket is good. Tigers take the 78-45 victory. Crossing over to women's hoops, Asia Wilson recorded her second double-double in as many games. The sophomore had 19 points and 10 rebounds and 6 blocks in the 92-44 win over UNC Greensboro. Elsewhere, Coastal Carolina improved to 2-0 after topping Clemson 63-45. Meanwhile, the CCU men's team is still in search of its first win of the season after falling by 11 to Hawaii in the final game in the Outrigger Hotel's Rainbow Classic. Perhaps the first win will come in the home opener versus Grace Bible College on Wednesday at 7 o'clock. Switching gears to NASCAR now, the governing body whittled its field of championship contenders in half here this weekend. 7 drivers went into Phoenix trying to squeeze into 3 spots and join Jeff Gordon next week at Homestead for the race for the NASCAR Sprint Cup Championship Series. Rain in Arizona. Yes, I said it. Rain in Arizona pushed back the start of this race, which finally got underway after an over 6.5 hour delay. When they finally got started with the race, Kurt Busch will get a little antsy there. He beats pole sitter Jimmy Johnson to the start-finish line, and that's a penalty. Take another look. You saw another look. Then Jimmy Johnson had the penalty again. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. gets into the side of Joey Gase, and both cars wind up in the wall, bringing out the caution on lap 196. Banged up car there, and then lap 220. The rain come once again, and after just a few minutes, the rain soaked the track. NASCAR calls the race. Dale Earnhardt Jr. is proclaimed your winner. And then there were 4. Jeff Gordon, defending series champion Kevin Harvick, Kyle Busch, and Martin Truex Jr. all advanced to the championship 4 at Homestead next week.
You know, with any sport, you have to think like how much that rain delay messes with your psyche and, you know, having your best performance out there.
It definitely was a battle for those guys out there tonight. Again, it seemed like they would go a couple laps and it would rain, go a couple laps, it would rain. Good thing about it, it's finally over. 1 race left in Homestead, Miami next week, and guess what? It's on NBC at 3 o'clock Sunday, November 22nd.
Make sure you tune in. Also, stick with us and a look at your forecast after the break.
It's 2015 model sell-off time at Sparks Toyota. Now is your best time to buy because we're selling off hundreds of new 2015 Toyotas with huge discounts. You can even save $4,500 off MSRP on all in-stock 2016 Camry models or 0 APR for 60 months. At Sparks Toyota, drive the 2016 Camry SE for $199 a month. Plus, when you buy, take advantage of the Sparks Preferred Customer Program.
Find your new Toyota now at SparksToyota.com and come see us at Sparks Toyota, where the dealer is always in.
We at Time Warner Cable need to apologize to you. We no longer offer an excuse to stay home all day just in case the cable company decides to show up.
We're making a bunch of changes at Time Warner Cable, including 1-hour arrival windows. We'll also tell you how long our visit will take before your appointment starts. So now you're not stuck waiting on us.
And if you still need an excuse to stay home all day, we've compiled a whole list at twc.com/stay-at-home.
All right, we're waking up to temperatures not too bad, but we're going to eventually get all of our temperatures up into the mid to upper 60s tomorrow. So a warm day. Temperatures are on the increase throughout the entire week through Wednesday. Notice Thursday we start that downward trend again. Thursday is also going to be the day this week where we start to see a little bit of rain work its way into the area. So definitely brace for some thunderstorms actually on Thursday. The only day that we're going to be seeing rain this week.
Thank you so much, Andy. Well, thank you guys for staying up late with us. A late one, that game just going on forever tonight.
Again, good races tonight. Again, I'm glad it's finally over. Got one race left. The season finally comes down to this thing. And again, right here on NBC, November 22nd, 3 o'clock. We don't even have a 6 o'clock, so no one tune in. We don't have a 6 o'clock next Sunday.
Well, in just a few hours, you'll be able to catch us here again for WMBF News Today starting at 5.
Of all the publicized incidents, whether on the field or off, what, if anything, looking back, would you do differently?
I wish I would have just shut up and just played football.